Yeah, I ain't gonna do
But we can't let our people, they make mistakes, but we can't let our people just like, okay, we slicing you up. We ain't gonna make that ain't our way of going.
Do what?
Simulate. This nigga said he might not join. I don't know. I ain't going.
Send you my link.
Yeah, how to get on that Facebook? I mean,
All right, let me see. You on TikTok?
no, I'm not on TikTok.
So I'm sending you my link.
Oh, well, fuck it. It's over. Let's make it happen, then, dog. All right, man. I can stand
My
these
shit
on
is too
for
hot,
so long.
You on
I
TikTok?
gotta get these motherfuckers.
Yeah. But they probably gonna have me undo TikTok at my job on my phone. They've been talking about it, but they ain't shit
Yeah,
yet.
because you work for them. You work for them people.
I work for the
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
the big AT and T, and they pay for my phone, so they like, y'all need to take that shit off, but I ain't did it yet.
Oh yeah, they pay for your phone. Yeah, they can take it.
It's my phone, but they reimburse me. So I refuse to get their phone.
Right, but they sure can't tell you take that shit off.
So you work for them and you on the coverage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they give me a discount on the phone, and I use it for business purposes, so they reimburse me for the phone. My other option was to have them use their phone. I didn't want to do that because when I do that, then they got free access to me, and when they can call me at all times of night and all that, I don't want that. Man. So
I don't get on my district Wi-Fi at work for that reason. I don't need them to know that much shit.
Okay.
so
All right, man. So I was thinking some hot topics. Of course, is Deion,
that's the man right there.
and then maybe we can talk some more about this Stephen A. Smith shit. Kyrie Irving, all that. It's kind of dead now. So we can hit Deion.
That's not gonna never be dead.
Oh well, we can do both. Then we can hit Deion. We can hit Ukuma Johnson,
And we can hit.
Dr. Johnson's motherfucker name.
We can hit. Now, this right here is gonna step on you two guys' toes
What's that?
Okay.
because
Do I need to break myself?
you're an ex-married person.
Yeah.
You're currently a married person. So I made a statement, and I stand on it. Affection is a feminine trait, and we can have that conversation.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool.
So, but anyway,
Affectionate is a feminine trait.
yeah, it is. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, but I'll
Affection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What brother?
Okay.
Tell me how it's not.
Okay, man. Go and say that shit for the show. Come
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Three, two, one.
on. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Damon and Belial. Let's talk real perspectives. Guys, we've got some hot topics today, some fire as always. I'm joined by my co-host
Damon.
and the dudes you hardly ever see, but you hear. Producer. That's affectionately known as the producer. All right, everybody, we're going to jump into what's hot and what's not. We're going to start this thing off with fire. Damon made a comment. He said that if you are an affectionate male, then by nature, that's a weak trait.
I said feminine trait.
Feminine trait, weak trait, feminine trait. So explain that, Damon.
I mean, it is. I mean, do men are providers, security. That's what we do. Now, before y'all start saying, flowers, they cool. People gonna start chiming in and saying I'm talking about if you have sex with the woman and don't, because y'all good at that. No, I'm not saying that. When I have sex with my female, yes, that's enough. We cuddle, do all that, briefly. But that calling all day and sending flowers constant all day, 24 hours a day, and touchy-feely all throughout the day. And, all of that is, we put too much emphasis on that. I mean, you put too much emphasis on that as men. Because this is what I say. I say brothers like that were raised by women.
I would agree.
Okay, now I understand more clearly what you're saying.
That's a setup. Of course, I'm not calling the woman enemy, but it's going to sound like I am, so I'm going to use that word. The enemy, of course, the enemy is raising you to treat women like they want to be treated. Women like stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want, so a woman said she want, I said, what do you want? You want affection or you want provisions? I want it all. Okay. She wanted all the time. Why do you need to bring your wife roses home every day?
I disagree with that. I think that's a setup if you do that. So I'm with you.
Right.
We lined up on that.
Why do B?
Well, I don't know if you need to bring roses home every day.
He said
you want to bring some type of appreciation.
There you go.
He said appreciation.
Yeah.
These lights. He said, young man, we were at a party, a gathering, whatever it was last night, and the wife, the whole place was decorated, flowers and all kinds of shit. The wife took home a truckload full of flowers.
Wow. Okay.
I'm telling them, just up the trunk, let them fly out on the way home, bro. He said, what we gonna do with this?
Well, yeah. So first he wanted to throw all the flowers away. So she said, you better not throw those flowers away. So I said, young man, come here.
Yeah, set the man, he fucked for life.
I said, brother, here's what you want to do with the flowers. You want to take those petals off that flower. You want to put them in the tub. You want to
Why?
candles, oil in that tub. Because, man, that's another day to show her you love her.
Just spend at least 5,000 on the birthday. At least 5,000. But I gotta do so much extra.
So my wife's 50th birthday party around that same price range, 5 plus. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, what's wrong with that, D? I'm trying to understand
I'm saying, damn, when does this stop? Why do I gotta do all of this? You didn't see they were in BMW whatever that was. The roses couldn't fit in the car. I wanted to wait and see how they got the roses in the car.
All may have been excessive. I agree with you. We take some, but yeah, she did want all. So every table, the main table had flowers everywhere.
Yeah,
every
took
table
out.
had flowers everywhere. She wanted all. Now that was a little bit.
I need some context here because it sounds like they know that's what she likes, so everybody made sure they brought her flowers.
No, that was part of the
That was
decoration.
part of the party decoration.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm telling the brother,
And all that stuff.
okay.
man, don't listen, brother. Put them in the truck, in the car, and don't let the hood down.
And I told that brother, man, do not listen to this man.
Yeah.
He was the line with Deion. I said, man, don't listen to this man. Look at man.
I saw this woman. If you talking about the young lady,
Right.
You talking about that young lady?
So we're talking back and forth to the hug. And I'm like, man, you better take them flowers.
Yeah, you better take
You
them
better take them
petals,
flowers.
I just spent-
sprinkle them on her.
I just spent 5,000.
Take those flowers.
Nice car.
Take flowers.
I'm assuming nice house.
Take flowers.
Yeah, you gotta go with that
Take flowers.
Why?
because
You take the flowers because one, that's what she wants.
period.
Okay. It was plain. I don't want
He didn't
this.
want the flowers.
I don't want to do this. He like, man, walking around. I said, don't do it.
Yeah, he was even telling her. He said, "What? They not
But
gonna fit. We
ain't-
need these flowers.
wasn't it
Ain't
her
gonna
day?
get over
though?
that."
Wasn't it her day?
Yeah, I spent 5,000 on your day.
Right. So that everything that you spent that 5,000 on, she gets to
But see,
bathe in, lay around in, roll around as long
I'm
as
not
she wants.
taking-
But it's her day.
this is the problem.
The flowers wouldn't even fit in this room.
When you don't have to, right? So, what I know from being in a long-term relationship, you just take the flowers. Yeah, they gonna die off, and the novelty of the flowers, it ain't gonna last. But they're gonna eventually end up in the trash can.
Yeah.
Which was he wanted to do first.
Nah.
But first, just take them. And then when that good old, she gonna say, baby, we can go ahead and throw these flowers away. Of course we can. Day or two later. But again, you know how it's gonna play out. So you go ahead and take those flowers, man.
Right. So ain't that simple? I mean, to me that sounds like simple. It keeps the drama down at the house.
You got eyeballs. I don't have eyeballs. So why do I have to do all this extra happy life, happy wife? Why do I have to do all of that? Why wife can't be happy or girlfriend can't be happy with the light, with the house, with the lights, with the heat? It's cold outside. With clothes, food.
Now, so if the wife or the girlfriend, whatever, didn't contribute to any of that,
She didn't.
she would have to be happy with that. But if she contributes any way, put any amount in the pot,
Again,
it makes it y'all's, not yours.
I'm a boyfriend ish. Bilal's a husband.
This brother almost said the name. Oh my God, we done broke the motherfucker. Almost got your name out there, girl. I know who you are. What's up, girl? I know you be listening. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, so so Bilal is a happy wife, happy life type person, right?
It's large.
I'm a be happy with what the life that I'm giving you. So I don't get why it. What about me? Like a brother was saying, a female was saying, we want the women to chase us, right? Well, we the catch because you want us. It's all about the woman when it comes to the female. It's all about them. They want a brother that's gonna pay the bills and do that and do this, do the roses and polish the feet. They want all that, right? So don't you supposed to be chasing the guy that's gonna do that? So, I gotta chase you and do all that. So it's so much emphasis.
So that goes back to the previous conversations we've had, both on the podcast and in person. That's your choice of a woman. You want to chase her,
make it larger.
So that just kind of goes back to that. I'm one to believe that dogs don't chase cats. Cats don't chase dogs. So since that's my philosophy and theory, I don't think that, because if a woman is chasing you, you're not the only man she's chased.
Yeah, she gonna chase me because I bring a lot to the table. So I'm not, instead of me chasing her, think about it. I'm not saying I can only speak on my behalf. So I don't know about, I'm even if I'm not the breadwinner in the relationship, I'm still expected to do all of this. What, roses in the bathtub and
right. But what are you expecting in addition from her to show her gratitude for you?
Man, you already know my answer to that is. I'm in a relationship for one thing.
You think laying it down is all it is?
That's all I don't understand. That's it, man. You know something? My laundry got picked up. I got on the plane, Friday? When I got on the plane? Saturday. My laundry got picked up Friday and delivered Friday. The lady she cleaned my house Saturday. I don't need my female to do. I ate. I did all the eating. I don't need a female to do anything other than the one thing that I need. To go out on dates with.
Well, then honestly, in your scenario, then you may not need to do the flower thing, man.
Right. Yeah, I'm
not.
I want to understand why.
But that's a total different thing.
They think they supposed to get all this shit.
See that.
And why do y'all put so much emphasis on that?
These conversations come down to two distinctive things, right?
My perspective.
And that, right, exactly. That's a perspective of a man who is in the non-traditional. If there's a such thing, by the way, as a traditional relationship, because I don't think there is. But he's not looking to be married or be in anything long term. So his philosophy.
I am looking to be something long term, but not married.
Right, but defining your long term, that's different, right?
Yeah.
So I think that any brothers who's listening to this, and you're trying to be in a committed relationship, and you want to go to the next step or whatever that may be, because marriage is, if you're in a committed relationship and y'all respect and love each other, that's what it is. Man, don't listen to this brother.
Yeah, you got a good woman out there. Y'all got a good thing.
Well, don't listen to this brother. This brother gonna have you.
I would say this word that D probably gonna look at me sideways. You gotta know that person's love language. You ever heard that term before?
Yeah.
So everybody may not like flowers. I know some people that don't like flowers.
I'm just talking about the effect.
You know what I'm talking about?
Effect.
But affection, you got to figure out how much your lady need that.
But I will say this.
And then...
listen, man.
I'm just saying.
I will say this, guys. Ironically enough, I do believe, support Damon's statement. Because...
I must be wrong.
You have to work at conditioning a man to do those things. Those are not natural things. So that's part of the submitting to each other. Because, I agree, a nurturer is not...
That's not us.
That's not a trait of a man. But I think that when you're in a long-term relationship and the woman you're with teaches you those things. And so
I don't agree with that.
She's teaching you those things.
She's training you. Go ahead.
Training, teaching, whatever you want to call it. But she's She's bringing those things to you. She's adding to you in that way. So because of that, it becomes but it's not a natural thing. But when you're in a long-term relationship, those are some of the give and takes. A woman gives you more nurturing qualities that you would have as a single man.
See, I want D to expose more what's his thought behind this. There's something behind that, D. It's just because naturally, somebody treats you right, you want to treat them right. That's usually the way things work, right?
Right.
So you might want to. It may not be the flowers. It might be like, hey,
appreciation.
Yeah.
It's called showing appreciation.
There you go.
So my thing is, it's so much because I'm in social media. I listen to social media a lot. Listen to other people's podcasts, and I hear, and it'd be brothers,
right,
saying, and they worse than me. I mean, this brother out here. I want to get this one brother on. I just want to listen to him say this crazy shit he be talking about. If you think B be on some
shit. This is your first time on the podcast. Yeah, I'm the brother who supports black love. So.
And I support black love.
No, he supports black.
Which is love.
It's a form of love.
That's the problem. Y'all are getting away from what we are here from, to reproduce.
Yeah.
Somebody actually, Larry Manning 52 said a caged man was happy with his wife equals no flowers. So caged man. We not caged men anymore, man.
Well, but here's the thing.
There's a whole lot more going on than that.
Anybody.
He's a hater.
Anybody wants appreciation for what they do. So if a woman is in a relationship with you, yeah, you're paying bills, you're doing those things, but she still wants separate acknowledgement and appreciation, separate from the walk together, separate from the journey that you guys
But
doing.
why?
That's just life, man. This is the way it is.
So I got to do that has to be done.
Because y'all in that walk together. See, and that's the thing. You have to separate it. You can't say, well, listen, I'm paying all the bills. I'm doing all of this. I'm paying the car notes. So you should be happy with just that. Well, if she's also working and may not make as much as you, she's contributing to that. So she wants something separate from that for you to show her appreciation. Not because I think this is good enough.
You know? Oh, okay. Well, okay. So,
but this is how a great woman, a good woman, adds more value and increases a man's character because she helps him build that capacity, not only for the family and for.
I hate this nigga.
I mean, hey man, it is what it is.
I'm gonna add to it a little bit though.
This is what cavemen were until they met a wife.
Yeah, because when I was when I was in my situation, and say you don't get no attention at the house, right? And then you go to work or whatever. Somebody like, you're a good man. They show you some appreciation. Man, that feeling is great. You know what I'm saying? That's a great feeling. So everybody needs it, whether they know it or not.
Everybody needs appreciation. We're not talking about appreciation. We're talking about affection.
But
everybody needs affection.
Unfortunate for the women who are listening, for the men, and I'm including myself, we are the worst, for whatever reason, at validating our women and complimenting our women. I don't know why that is. But
so, and I'm the best at, prime time. I complimented a female friend, right? Mm-hmm. A sexual partner. I complimented her. I'm a butt guy. Everybody know I'm a booty man. I complimented her on her booty. Her comeback was, well, what about my face? Bitch.
There you go.
Using opinions.
There you go. So one thing so I asked this question to two of my closest friends. I mean, like 40 plus years. I've been on these guys like brothers to me. And one of them, I'm not going to say his name, but he's been married almost 20 years now. And I asked him, and he said, I said, hey man, do you compliment your wife? He said, man, for what? I ain't got time for that, man. That's insecurity. Hell, she don't need me. And then I asked the other brother the same thing. Man, that's just one. And I asked another brother. He's a principal here in Dallas. And I asked him, hey, bro, do you compliment your wife? And he started laughing. Took, man, you must have been talking to her. She's been complaining about that too. And I'm like, why do we have problems? And I'm saying I have to include myself. We can compliment a woman that we don't care about. Oh, you look nice today. You don't care about that woman. But the one you care about, why is that a struggle?
Oh, I can easily. I'm gonna let you go, D.
See, that's crazy because I compliment the females that I'm sexual with. The pussy.
You just said this physical. Yeah, this is nice. I have something, girl.
Yeah.
I'm keeping
What about my face?
Huh?
What about my face?
That's too much.
Yeah, this feel good. Yeah, I like how you do that. Them compliments. Yes.
So, so my friend said that his wife always says, I get compliments at work, but I come home and don't get them.
So what kind of compliments is he giving?
Well, this is what I'm saying. So women will compliment you in a different way. They'll compliment something they like on you. I like those shoes. I like that purse. Girl, that's a nice purse. Girl, your hair.
Yeah.
But they don't say, you're a beautiful person. You have a great spirit. It's always one of those, but that's a nice dress. I like that dress. So they're complimenting just those things they like.
Go
Let
ahead.
me keep it 100 here, right? And this might be counseling type stuff. And Snoop Dogg talk about this all the time. We sometimes feel if you compliment somebody too much, that is going to show a little weakness, especially in our culture, and then they're going to take advantage of you.
Again,
So
It's just-
I compliments.
No.
It's just we think that we
the
do
affection
everything
thing.
else. What else do we need to do? Right?
Yeah, so I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm just saying there's an aspect of our culture where if you do too much, a woman gonna be like, that's a weak nigga right there.
I believe that.
It could be.
That nigga weak.
I believe
So
that.
I could take advantage of him.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that could be.
That's
That's
all I'm saying.
always got to be on 10.
Is that black women or women in general?
So another thing that happens,
Man, yeah.
women always want to be told, and we all three men in here, and I've had these same conversations with my boys. You don't tell me you love me, right? So what is
Yeah,
it about mothers
yeah.
who can't say that enough?
I
That
ain't big on that.
Most brothers not. Like, and you talk to any brothers.
I ain't big on that.
I think that's how you I was raised in a family. My family was if my mother told me she loved me, I'm thinking that's a code word.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a blink 2 times with something's happening. My grandmother was the same way. Now, did I think that I knew for a fact my mother and grandmother loved me and sister, but if my sister called me right now and said I loved you, I think my mother passed away a few years ago, and I stay away from my sister on that day and my mother's birthday. But occasionally I hit her with I love you. Before I hit that sin, I'm like, okay, I'm going what's going through my mind is how she gonna take this. Not anything negative, but nigga, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So in our family, it's expressed, but it's not verbally.
Right.
We don't go around. My son, I came home from penitentiary, where my son was living with his mother while I was gone. So when I came home, 8 years later, he was 8 years older. He lived with me before his first few years of his life, and then he moved in with his mother, his sole provider, right? So I came home, got my son. I heard this every day. He walked out there, all right, Pops, I love you. All right, Pops, I love you coming out. I love you, Pops. Nigga, if you say that one more time.
Yeah. But see, I love that, man. So I'm not I love you to none of my children, my female children, my 2 daughters, etc. But my son, my youngest son, he has developed I love you.
Right.
He'll tell me mother, pops, etc. No one taught him that, no one showed him that. He's with that. Now my oldest son, he will tell his mother, I love you, they best friends. My daughter, who's our youngest child, she ain't I love you to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's your right thing.
So it's
She gangster. That's my homegirl.
It's that, you know what I'm saying? But
it's cultural, man. It's in our music.
yeah, I know personally, man. I didn't teach my sons that. What was more important to me, now that's not an excuse. I should have, but I didn't.
Why?
You know what? It's my wife asks me that all the time, and it's hard to.
No, I'm saying why should you have, not why didn't you?
Right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's hard to give you something that you didn't have an example of or knew how to do. So it's hard for me to give you something I didn't have an example of that, and I didn't know how to do that. Because like Damon said, my mother was the same way. My mother was never, I love you. You can hang it up. My mother was tough thug love from day one to the end.
Right.
And my mother had a lot of issues with how her and my father played out. So I took a lot of the blunt of that, right?
Right.
So she had her own demons to deal with. This is not a hate mother show. But because of that,
Right.
I didn't know male at the crib to show you that either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had 7 uncles. They thought they showed you thug love too.
Right.
You know, so you don't have that.
So did it feel uncomfortable?
It did, man.
Okay.
So my thing is, I wanted to make sure I was here.
Right.
Great example of the father. Interactions with their mother. Never ever. No infidelity, no cheating, no hitting, no choking. Never saw none of that kind of crazy stuff because it never happened. That
Has
was
nothing to do with
important.
love.
That was important to me, right, for my sons to see that. But for whatever reason,
You wasn't gonna say it.
Let me clear something up right quick. Okay, his situation is different from my situation, and I'm gonna let y'all see it. His situation is different from my situation. My mother showed me.
born in about 25 states.
My mother and grandmother showed me love constantly. I've never heard it. I knew what it looked like.
That's right.
I didn't know what it sounded like. That was a form
felt
of
it, though.
man. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
My mother would fight. I'm kindergarten. She'll fight you over me. Let me come home and say, well, she make me fight you, but let me lose. We double teaming. So my mother and my grandmother, man.
Yeah.
So my whole family, uncles, But I think my mother's whole purpose was, since it was so many, I'm the only boy on my mother's side for a long time. So I have all female cousins.
Okay.
And I think her thing was to be hard on me
Yeah.
and don't say soft words or whatever. So I wouldn't be gay.
Yeah.
That was my mother's thing.
You know,
I had nothing but sisters.
It would be weak.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had nothing but sisters.
So
the
so
same way.
and then all of her friends, nothing but girls. So I think there was one friend that had a boy that I kind of grew up with, but he and I were around nothing but girls. So my mother was
Right.
nothing soft.
Yeah, my mother was the same way. So
Yeah.
on both my sides, my father's side, he had a couple of gay cousins, etc., etc. My mother's side, she had a couple of gay brothers. I was the only male of her 4 children. So yeah, it was like
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being
Right.
Yeah, no, I didn't-
But I think that phobia thing was there with my mother. So she thought, in absence of a man showing her,
Yeah.
she thought that this is what I need to make sure I give him this boom in your mouth.
And both of them
You know
scenarios
what I'm saying?
makes a
Just-
lot of
just
sense.
Super, super tough.
I got the boom in the mouth now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes
yeah, that's
sense.
super tough. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you I love you. I'm not gonna treat you. You got to be strong. You my only son type thing.
Right.
So
Because you was kind of the man in the house at a certain point.
I wasn't.
Well,
I had a father now.
You know,
Okay.
man, that whole man of the house, it wasn't that way like it is now.
Okay.
You was a man in the house. You know, them strong black women.
Man, I look at my mother accomplishments. So I start comparing just women to her now. And I said something to one of my cousins, like, you can't compare nobody to your mom, right? Because I was telling B one time, sharing something with Bilal, that my mother had me at 17, so she was pregnant at 16. So she had me at 17, still went to school, still went to university, still got married, then had another child, still bought a house, and got a divorce. All young. Before she was 25 years old, she was a homeowner. And when I see women today, because I'm a landlord, right? And all these women, all these girls, 30 and 40, still renting. Like, which, keep it up. I build 10 houses a year. Keep up the good work.
That's a glory, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man. And so my mother, and this was, I was born in 68. So, 72, I know my mother was buying a house.
Right.
Because I own a house now. My mother passed away. My sister and I own the house now. And it's on the abstract, It's about the house in 72.
So let's go full circle. Go ahead, bro.
And don't you,
Women don't do that today.
Well-
2 kids, divorcee, before she was 25.
You say some women don't.
Yeah, they do, but I was
Okay, where you at?
It's a woman out there with 2 kids in Bone House.
Yeah,
but let's.
At 23.
Back then it was a lot harder than it is now. So I just want to put that out there for a single woman to buy a house at a young age. You had redlining, you had getting a loan,
you got government program.
Yeah.
So let's go full circle with what we talked about, because I think we did do that. So we started the show saying, hey, these are weak tendencies, these are female tendencies.
Yeah, female.
To show affection, etc., etc. And I just want to talk
too much affection.
Right. I just want to speak on.
Thank you for clarifying that.
How we going full circle, because we talked about the women in our lives, our mothers, etc. And so this to me validates the importance of a good woman in your life, right? Because I talked about how I wasn't that guy with my son, but my wife was. So I had that partner, and we balanced each other, right?
Yeah.
And so she told them boys they was loved. I showed them they was loved. She told them. You know what I'm saying? And so there you go. And so we take this thing full circle, that balance. So when you got a good woman in your life, you know what I'm saying? You still can, you will bend, but you still can be the man you're supposed to be.
Okay, it's my turn.
Because you got a woman, a good one. You know what
Rocky Michelle.
This go.
Denzel.
But that's right though. So that's the full circle. Like we didn't have that. But
my turn.
Yeah, that's full circle, bro.
So
what we didn't have, we were able to get from good women.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I didn't tell my sons that they were loved, that I loved them, but their mother said it. I wasn't married to the mother. I have 10 baby mamas.
But D, you gotta admit what he's saying is kind of the ultimate, kind of almost the ultimate. That we strive for it. We ain't. I'm not in. I mean, we strive to be there.
So what?
I was there. Hey, B. Hold on. This is my cousin-in-law. Who you talked to this morning? That's related to me. That's not related to you.
Who did I talk to this morning?
Yeah.
That's related to you.
That's not related to you by blood. She talked to my son this morning.
Oh yeah, I talked to your boy this morning.
B know my children, right? And all my children have, different mothers. And B know my children. So so for him to know my children, that means I had to be in their life. For him to know all of my children,
True that.
I had to be there in their lives.
True that.
So just because I wasn't married to their mother, and I'm not. I don't think. And
I agree with that. To me, you're right. It's a benefit to be in the home. It's not a must. You still can be a great father and not be in the home. So
thank you.
Just say, hey, the only way you be a good dad is you in the home. But for me, and what I didn't have, that was important.
Right, and I gotta give both you cats credit, but I've always said what you doing is amazing with having several baby mamas.
They grown, that don't count.
Yeah, but still, most cats who do what they bail. Yeah, it's too much. They can't handle it. They bounce.
Right.
I'm
a great businessman, and that's a business.
Hey man, you got 11 kids. That is business, right?
It's an enterprise. That's a couple of LLCs and subsidiaries with that.
Yeah.
But I give you credit. I give my man credit for that because that's too much pressure for most brothers, and they bail out on that. And the fact
well, I'm bailing now.
They grown though.
Yeah, and I'm bailing now.
They grown.
To my children, stop calling me. It's a wrap. My money belongs to me. It's mine. You can't have it. Shit.
All right. So that was that. Yeah. So we'll take a few comments on that, and we'll transition to our next topic.
I can't see. If somebody give me some glasses.
I'm trying to get that. I don't know how to.
This is your phone, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an Android. I don't know how to make it large.
Right. Yeah. Man, I'm an Android guy.
This lady asked, "What type of form is this?" This is us just talking form. You can't even blow this up.
Yeah.
Kid, I can't see your name.
So if you guys...
Kid Wiz. You're talking about Kid Wiz.
Kids Wiz. I'm asking her a question.
If you guys just jumped on, go ahead.
Well, she's saying what type of form is it? It's not. It's just 3 dudes on here talking, man. And I think I'm cute, so I just want to be on TikTok Live. Simple as that. And we recording it on a podcast, so he's going to edit it.
We do have a purpose. We're trying to educate this. So
I'm not trying to educate anyone.
Perspective of the hard work it takes and dedication to maintain a healthy relationship. And Damon's going to talk on the pros and cons of remaining with yourself.
And I do. I'm gonna come back on you, D, a little bit because I think this podcast has been a kind of It's entertaining, it's informative, and it gives a perspective.
Well, I was talking about the TikTok. I'm talking to the TikTok people.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is just us on her.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, So
because people
I get to look at myself.
So Damon brought his son in, and I've talked to his son multiple times. We were hanging out earlier this week together. He came down.
My son and him.
Yeah, we were hanging out, and so he was asking me some things about my marriage. He was married 10 years, and his marriage unfortunately didn't make it.
Why is it unfortunate?
It's unfortunate because you have. It's unfortunate. Any failure is unfortunate.
Why? Because you decide to move on. That's a failure.
Well,
Meaning it's done.
Right.
So I'm gonna turn my car in. So that's a failure.
So if you can't make that payment no more,
Why is it because I can't make the payment?
It's upgrading.
Right.
It's different. So
Right. So he's upgrading his life.
So then that's a failure to the first one.
Well, I don't like the word failure.
I'm saying failure as in the
people grow apart.
Hey, what is it?
Right. Because you're right. People grow up. Bilal's just a super nigga.
It failed, man.
Right.
For whatever reason.
I don't like that failure.
We're not blaming nobody. Okay, so if you end up in divorce, that's a successful marriage.
Listen.
Or is that a
We
failed?
two people get married, and we can't read the future.
Damn,
Okay.
you own businesses. If one of your business go down, is that a failed business venture?
No.
Or a
No.
Good try.
Well, I'm gonna flip that. What if D went in business doing X and wound up doing Y, and let X go, but why he doing Y now because X opened the door to him doing
just
Y.
like I'm doing now. Exactly how my businesses are going now.
So that's the same thing as an upgrade. Yeah, if you're in a business and you pivot and you transition to something else.
Okay, this is what I'm about to say.
So that woman that he may have married may not, as he grown,
Right.
she might not have been the one who rode to the next level with.
So that's what happened. They grew apart.
Women do hinder you.
Yeah.
They can hinder.
Or men, they just grew apart.
Yeah.
Whatever
It was
it is. Right.
now would have been the failure if they would have stayed together.
And been miserable.
Right.
Well,
So it was a success.
Yeah.
It's a success because they realized they're like, hold on.
if you stay together and you're not happy, that's it's all the same. That's a failed marriage as well. That's a failing marriage. It's not
Coming from the guy that's been
But you guys
married.
think we make sense of what we're saying. Sometimes
It's not going to if you don't promote being married for the rest of your life to the same person.
I do not. Listen, guys, I'm not an advocate for.
Yes, he is.
I'm an advocate for
trying to stay there.
integrity. For that's what I'm an advocate for. Integrity in what you do. Even if you're out there with multiple partners, have integrity about that. Be honest, etc.
Coming from a person who's only been one person for the last 30 years.
Yeah, but that does not have to do with anything with your integrity. So I'm a man of integrity. So,
Well, we got rules in the Playboy game.
So with integrity,
Lie.
stay. So like we all said, I was talking to the young man, and he was asking me about marriage, right? And he asked about mine and how it lasts so long and this and that.
Because you're a special person.
And I told him it's two things, right? You find that leprechaun who's the right one for you, or you find one that you're willing to change your life for. That's the only two kinds that are out there. But no marriages look the same. And so I just said, was your wife who you were willing to change everything for? And his statement was,
Nope.
At first, I was. So that's just what that is. So he said at first, and that changed. But again,
Because she didn't kick in.
you brothers who
It's a reason.
You brothers who want marriages, you sisters who want marriages, man, y'all got to know, man, this is work.
It's a give and take. I understand it's a give and take,
But
but
it's
when
not an even give and take. And most people think it is, and it's not.
but when you no longer recognize who you are, is that really you being happy?
You should never be in a relationship where you lose yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
And so you separate.
Yeah. So it's
And so that's not a failure. That's like, okay, well,
If you're
this
in a
ain't-
relationship and you lost yourself, somewhere along the way you failed yourself.
so you go buy something. Mm-hmm. You hungry, all right? Let's
Right.
do it like this because the world society is set up to you don't even supposed to have sex until you get married. Dumbest rule ever.
Yeah, I've never bought a car saying, just give me that car.
Right. Yeah. Now, but okay,
Let's
let's use the car. So you go get a car.
Right.
Never driven it. Right. And you driving around this car. And you're like, path that I'm taking. So your path is along rocky roads and mountainside, and you got your Pinto. This car is not gonna make this journey. So I need to either backpack this motherfucker because I can't do it in this car, and I am comparing marriages to cars. So yeah, I can't do it with this. It's not that I'm trying, okay, but it's not gonna work.
It's just not can't.
Right. So you got to get out of it at some point, trade it in, or like I said, backpack it.
Yeah.
And that's not a failure because you're still going on your journey.
We're arguing the death
For success. For both people.
Right.
To be successful.
For both people.
Right. But starting something and it doesn't work, that is two things.
It just didn't work.
Experience and it failed. You know what I'm saying? It just,
It just didn't work.
Right, but hey, I get it.
Did your marriage fail?
It didn't work.
Because you were married. Okay, my marriage. My marriage didn't fail. It just wasn't gonna work.
We grew apart.
It just wasn't gonna work. Because
So why does that grow apart?
Well, high school sweetheart situation.
she decided she wanted to be a crackhead and he wanted to be a pimp. You know, whatever the case.
So if she started going on crack, and this all hypothetical, his ex-wife is not a crack.
Right, this is just
All this gonna get to me that.
Yeah.
well, it's not on this.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm trying to cause some chaos in the household.
Yeah, she was on crack and surrounded by that.
But yeah, if it doesn't,
But
people.
I'm saying, so if my wife was to get on anything, I'm gonna take some of that blame.
But no, finish that line of questioning. I want to see where y'all was going with that.
Oh, that's where I was.
So
going.
I'm married.
I was going that in your
is.
marriage, you say y'all grew apart. So in growing apart, you two were not willing to do whatever needed to be done to fix it.
Some things can't get fixed.
That Pinto can't become a Jeep.
Right. So you said that, hey, and instead of investing more time in this and redefining us and working on us, I'm out.
Okay, let me go deeper.
Yeah.
Do you know sometimes
I'm out.
kids know when it's an unhappy household.
I understand that.
So
You
if
gotta
you
know
try
the end is the end.
so you're trying to stay together and you actually damaging not only you and her from being happy, but the kids is now messed up. The family around that
Right. So
is all jacked up
here's the
because they know
question.
y'all living a lie.
I get
You don't want to do that.
Here's the question.
And I ain't saying that's my scenario.
Here's the question.
That's crazy because when I was
Did
married.
you do everything that you could possibly do?
Well, let me answer that question because he just said no. So I'm answering the question. No. I did everything that I was willing to do. Period.
I like that.
And okay, so I'm going to do this, but you better come on with me.
Right.
Well, I couldn't make her be, because I was growing, you know, like, so growth. I wasn't married long enough for any growth, but my position in life pivoted. My way of thinking pivoted because I got married in the military and immediately got discharged from the military. And so that part of my life was over with and I didn't need her, right? Okay, so, well, that's how it went. So now, if we gonna make this work, I need you to be on the same page with me. She's on that military wife page. Right. You know, just sit around, don't do shit, we gonna get some money.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Okay, now, we out here in this world.
Yeah, hustle.
Right. So this how we gonna do it. I put a plan down. Okay, do this. Go to school. Get some certificates. Boom. I'm about to be a fireman. You know what I'm saying? And for the I'm gonna sell dope for the meantime until we get. She wasn't doing her part.
Right.
Well, if you're not gonna do your part of the plan, bye. So I didn't. It wasn't me. Choco. So I go to school. I'm gonna pay for it. So her thing was, oh, I didn't know you were gonna pay for it. Bitch, I said, shit. So after selling dope, I'm paying for everything.
Money ain't a problem.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying go get a car. When you got that, you wasn't worried about who's paying for that.
So we're gonna drop the mic with this statement right here that I originally said in the advice I gave his son. If you wasn't willing to do everything, you was with the wrong one. Bam, mic drop. Next up on the show. Because that's the bottom line, right? You either with the woman that you willing to do whatever it takes to make that work, or you not. And that's what it is. You don't grow apart from somebody you willing to do whatever it takes. That ain't growing apart because you giving that person what they need, and you ain't growing apart.
You're right. I love that Pinto, but I'm about to leave this motherfucker on the side of this mountain.
Well, then you didn't love that Pinto. You liked it.
I can't make that Pinto make it up that mountain.
But sometimes love is about letting something go.
But again, we're using it. I get we're just using an analogy.
But it's a great analogy.
Yeah, you can let. You can.
Do y'all think this is a great analogy?
A Pinto can't love you back. A Pinto can't benefit you other than giving you.
We know we're talking about human beings.
Maybe that's why we picked the Pinto.
You can let somebody go because you love them so much. You let them go.
I'm gonna try this. Okay, horse. Horse can love you back.
People say that shit all the time. I love you so much. I got to let. I ain't
right.
That's true. It's true.
Whatever. Bro.
It's true.
Okay.
If you hindering somebody from being the best they can be, and blah blah blah.
Whomever his wife is, you are a lucky lady.
You should not be a hindrance.
You are a very lucky lady.
You should not be a hindrance. And if you're a hindrance, you got to reflect on that. You got to own that, and you got to work on that.
Yeah, but if somebody come home all of a sudden, oh, you know, I'm worshiping the devil now. What you gonna do? Let's work it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So women.
I believe his wife is a devil.
Okay. So the same thing with when I tell women all the time, men don't wake up when this happens, right? So your woman did just wake up, this changed woman.
Mm-hmm.
This was happening. You were doing certain things, etc., that was leading to this behavior or leading to her acting out in a certain way. You did that. Because you saw that.
Hey,
and
he loves his wife.
No, you just refused to deal with it. You didn't sit down. You didn't talk about it. And you let whatever that was continue to grow. Now,
I wish they could see your expression.
All I'm saying is you didn't have a conversation.
No, sometimes you have no idea what's going through somebody's brain.
Then you guys wasn't communicating. I mean, we just.
Did you say the word? Did you say the C word? You said the C word.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens when communication is not existent?
Well,
and is that my fault too?
No, you can't communicate with yourself. But if communicating is not existing, then you have to speak to her non-communal. You have to get her attention other ways.
That sounds like a lot of work.
That's what a marriage is.
No, I get the marriage work, but now you actually.
When do you actually get the work?
Thing.
Let me see your glasses. What kind of so I can see these comments. I don't even think nobody's on anymore, but we still. So
no, it's a good conversation.
Right. We don't have to worry about it. Yeah, damn.
500.
Shit, nigga.
My glasses might be a little bit too.
Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, man.
No, I feel you. I just want to say I feel you.
But no, in truth, man, just like I have a car out there. My wife, like, since we use a car now, boy, get rid of that car. Boy, you too old for that car. Man, that's something I have an affinity for.
I hate that car.
So yeah, he hates the car, but I like the car.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna keep the car. Right. And so because I like the car and I have a fondness for a car, I fixed it. I do this. I do that. I'm willing to put in the work because that's something I like.
Gotcha.
And so my marriage is greater than the car.
No,
So of course I'm gonna put in all the work that's necessary, do all the things I need to do for that.
I get it.
Can it be that you just got the right woman for you?
Yeah, that's how it is.
I don't believe
that's
in the
it.
right woman for you. I don't believe in that. He always called me Prince Charles. I don't believe in none of that. Know my wife in the beginning.
You are the epitome of Prince Charles.
When we were 19 years old, no man, hell no, we was 19 doing 19-year-old stuff. And in the world and us, we changed.
Now you're 53.
B, I see. I see what you got,
so
man.
We built. Yeah. We worked hard.
I'm gonna sneak into a tour of what.
Yeah, we fought hard.
I know, but
and sacrifice. Man, my wife gave up a lot.
Y'all fought hard.
Right, exactly. And this goes back to previous conversations about, man, you got to build together.
But he just mentioned a situation where his significant other was not willing to do anything.
And I get that. And so
your scenario is different.
But listen, my wife was not always willing to build.
Yeah,
but you build and you bring her along.
You're not giving y'all enough credit, man.
Man,
we're not paying attention.
No, what I'm saying is, man.
His nickname is Prince Charles.
It took sacrifice.
His real name is Prince Charles.
It took sacrifice on both our parts. Man, we've changed each other. you have to be willing to be changed.
I wish there was another woman here to chime in and just say, "Hey, y'all shit worked."
Right.
But it's not. It wasn't magical.
Because I'm giving you credit for the hard work. But y'all was working in the parameters. If some people go outside the parameters, if your wife came in and say, "Hey, I like to cut people up. I'm gonna cut you, B. Next time you do it, you can't live like that."
Okay, well, see that. Okay, now
you gonna talk her out of that?
Now again, like I keep saying, people don't wake up unless. Well, I can't say that. Somebody might wake up with a psychological
happens every day
like that. So, but
I didn't know she was a psycho.
I'm leaving.
If you with somebody and they wake up and say, "I got a craving for flesh now," I mean that's a psycho.
We had a conversation, and I'm 100%. This is me. So we were having a conversation. I made a comment to a person because I was commending him. It may have sounded like I wasn't, and if it came out wrong, B kind of put me to the side. I thought I was being, affectionate or whatever. But I made a comment because a person that we know, Ben I know, their mate went through a surgical situation, and I'm saying, I think I'd have bounced.
Right.
And
he didn't know we were all in the car together, and that we can't say a whole lot, but we were all in the car together, and the brother brought up a situation. We have to be
I would have bounced.
We got to be descriptive because we are really, this is a true story. And so they said, "Oh, I'm going to blah 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 blank blank blank." And so I pulled that brother to the side. I said, "Hey man, do you know that this person's wife is going to do that right now? That scenario you just made up."
But all I said was, I wouldn't be in that situation.
I ain't going to do it. I'll be gone. Like,
I'm not. Man, I'm not.
I like, hey, man, you do know, but he did know, and we don't know, right? So you can't, those was innocent blows, right? Because he did know, right? Yeah. But yeah, I'm like,
and vice versa. I don't expect a woman. Talked to my father last night, my stepfather. Talked to him yesterday, and he was going on, and I made sure in the conversation, do you have long-term health insurance? Because I'm not coming to nothing. White, clean, nothing.
Who are your biological man?
Do you have? He was around me long enough to where he
understood where he was coming from.
Right, but oh yeah, I got all that. I have that because I don't expect my children to nothing. You know what I'm saying? So so a lot of that stuff is. Get off the topic.
This is another topic because I think in the black community,
we had supplemental.
No, this is a real good one. In the black community, man, we parent with "you owe me." Now that's not how I parent. I don't parent my kids don't owe me nothing. But in our community, we parent with that "you owe me."
I'm guilty of that, man. I expect my daughters. I expect them to wipe my ass, but I expect them to be there for me to a certain degree.
I expect mine to live their life.
I do that, man.
I want them to stop that.
I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm telling my people.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I told my people cremate me. Don't even spend money.
I told mine to leave me where they found me dead.
Nah,
don't spend no money no food. Look, man, cremation $3,000.
Nah, funeral, I won't be around to see that. But I'm talking about if
cremate me.
I need you to be there.
No, man, put me in the home
for me. Well, I don't want to be no home.
Man, I'm in the home.
No.
I got long health. I got a lot of stuff. So hopefully my finances. Hopefully my finances be where they, I'm set it up to this. If you don't come see me, you don't get nothing. No checks.
Then what's different than what I just said?
I didn't say come take care of me.
Well, I didn't say I need you wiping my behind and all other stuff. But I'm saying I need you to take care of my finances, make sure everything's legit.
No, well, I got a lawyer for you for that.
That's what I'm saying, man. You put all those things in. Listen, man.
Well, your scenario is a little different because
here's the way I look.
Legally, a lot can come your way because you got 10, 11.
I'm there for
children, right?
And all of them can come and claim a portion. That's it's a little different. So you got it.
I got trust.
I'm totally with that. Come see me. That's all.
Well, come and see me, maybe y'all you want. But I'm just saying, don't put me in no home and throw it away like, well, he in a home somewhere.
Well, that's up to you not to be put in the home.
Yeah, I don't want to be in no home.
But then you need to get you long-term health insurance.
I had an uncle, man. He was man, this is my best man in the world, man. This dude made everything. It's hard to even talk about this brother not tearing up. Before I moved here to Dallas, I went to that brother and I said, "Hey, man, I won't leave. I'll stay right here in Dawson." And he said, I live my life.
Okay.
You go live yours. He said, you live your life.
I'm with that.
But I even told Les, my wife, I said, if Uncle want me to stay, we ain't going. So I went and called my uncle. Hey, look, you want me to stay here with you, man? Help me out, stay here, look out for you, whatever. And he said, no. He said, I live my life. And that's the same approach I'm taking with my kids.
I get that.
Right.
I live my life. I do know, just like with my diet, I'm a vegan. But I don't want my choices to be other people's burdens. Right?
Okay.
So, I'm going to do the things that I need to do to make sure all my children have to do is say, hey, what's up, Pop? And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like that.
That's
I
it.
like that.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
there'll be no guilt tripping and up. No. What's up, Pop? Hey, how y'all doing? If I'm even able to speak. Hey, but that's it.
like
They ain't got to do nothing else. They know.
Kill me if I
Live your
can't.
life, man.
If I'm laying in the bed,
Well,
paralyzed.
and just because I like the way you threw that down, I don't need you changing your life because of me. But I don't need to be like, where's your pops at? Oh, I don't know. He's somewhere in
We take care of that now.
Taft or Haskell, at a subpar facility.
Take care of that.
Yeah, I got the finances to be in a nice place. Make sure I'm taken care of. And that don't mean you got to change your life.
You don't have, that don't have to do nothing with them. That can be all on you. Your loan. Yeah. I'm not leaving nothing up to them. I have 11 children. I'm pretty sure, half of them like me. And the other half are willing to deal with me because the other half they like me. So they likes me. I'm not leaving nothing to them.
Right.
Meaning nothing. Decisions made about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything is. I got a lawyer for you. Well, I got a lawyer. Yeah. Go talk to your lawyer. Set all that up now. If anything happens, I got to go find those papers. If anything's happened to me, it's already in play. Boom, boom, boom. My trust, all that. My living trust, all that. All that's in play. Who's gonna get what? There's no. Oh, we got to go to. What is it called? Probate and all that.
No. Now, man, for the new black folks, it's
no probate.
GoFundMe.
Well, you know what? And it kind of, I just got to, brag on this. See, this podcast is more about than just what people think, right? Because that was very informative. If anybody was paying attention and listening, obviously, he says his thing. Go out and get that taken care of, because a lot of us don't do that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and I'm going to tell you something.
My dad and my mom did have that taken care of, so it made everything really easy.
Man, my mother passed away. My mother passed away in 17.
Mm-hmm.
She had her burial insurance paid for in 72.
Yeah.
I'm up there, so we knew what funeral home, which my cousin, I never paid attention to my mother, I guess, because I didn't know what funeral home, but just so happened the funeral home that she paid to have her things taken care of was still there. And it happened to be owned by a friend of mine at this time when she passed away. So, but they still had her policy, because I guess the thing you just paying the burial place.
Yep.
And they still had, it was, my little cousin was saying, well, knowing Aunt KK, she probably had such and such. We asked the people.
Boom.
They had it.
Already taken care of it.
Took my credit card back. And they honored it well because he was my partner, I'm guessing.
Right.
But they honored everything. I mean, 2017 to 1972, she wanted this casket. Come on, that casket was $4 back then.
Yeah.
So we got a free cash. I didn't pay for. Man,
Right.
Gave us a limousine.
See, for me, I told my peeps, put me through the fire.
But even with
Or the other
that,
dog.
so even with that, me as a child and how I felt about my mother, I wanted to do more.
Right.
And she had it in writing. No, Damon gonna try to do this. Don't let her. How you gonna tell me?
Have it in the wheel, man.
She already had it in there.
And I'm in the oven, dog.
Don't do her dog. I mean, her son.
And this is literally what I want. Ashes, buried with a tree. That's it. See,
Leave me where y'all find me.
that's it, man.
You said where?
Don't even come claim me.
Man, don't let these funeral folks come up here and suck. Y'all need that money.
Yeah.
Don't give it to the funeral.
Well, I got burial
Burial
insurance.
insurance, right? And the plot already.
Play this motherfucking song. Planet Rock, nigga. That's my shit.
Yeah. Listen,
Planet Rock.
and I'm gonna say one more thing.
Planet Rock.
Get,
Play Planet Rock.
I tell all my children this. I'm 54 years old. I probably got another
Planet Rock.
60 years to live. Go get a life insurance policy. Take out a life insurance policy on me. I'm going to sign it. Make it $1 million, whatever you want. I'm going to pass all the health. My health is great. Go get it now.
Yep, that's true.
Take out a life insurance policy because that's how we transfer wealth as a community.
Yeah. So that's just like
trying to get whole life, not term.
So
whole
here
life.
we go. Let's break that down for this podcast. So listen good. If you put $50, $60, $70 up, that ain't gonna get you nothing.
Nothing.
But if you go and say, "Hey, Dad, Mom, I'm gonna get some whole life on y'all.
Get it on me.
$300,000 coverage on you guys. It is what it is, guys. You know what this is about." And you pay that same $80, $90. Not only can you borrow on that policy, but also you can cash that in.
Yeah.
So if you need a car, so we've been talking about cars, you can borrow against that same policy and get you a car. And zero payback, no interest, none of that, like them banks be charging you.
Well, you got to pay it back.
Yeah, but I'm just saying zero interest. Though.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you paying your own
interest,
self
none
back.
of that, you paying your own self back. Something happened to you, to your parent or whoever you gotta know, you get a payout. That's exactly how you build up. Instead, man, we know this. No more names out there, but man, we had $500, $600, $700 to go fund them. Man, no, man, ain't nobody finna go fund me now.
You know, since we talk about
Go fund me.
since this become a finance economic podcast, another thing that you can do is start buying property, real estate. That's another way to hold wealth. You know, I'm not a big stock market person.
That's the long game. Right, I agree. That's the long game. You need to dip and dabble in both.
I think
Stock market, that's the
I think
long
real
game.
estate is a long game because
Real estate is definitely
right.
No, I'm talking about, know what I mean by that, long game. So stocks, long game. You see that 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Real estate, the reason why I'm saying no one, you can see a return on that quick.
Well, I buy and hold.
Lately
So-
you can.
Well,
But long term.
I think you can in general.
Yeah.
You can get a property flip, but that's quick. You can hold on one, hold it for a little while, and then flip it. Or you can build and get money monthly. So that's why I don't consider that a.
Yeah, I see your point.
well, I'm a landlord, so I rent out properties, and my goal is to get where if I pass away, my children have. I know a guy with 4,000 doors. Of course, he has apartment complex and other families, but 4,000 doors. That'll be 400 doors for each one of my children. If, well, how that works is, I continue, like I said, I build 10 houses a year, 7 to 10, 11 this year, next year 7. So I accumulate at least 10 properties a year, right? And it's through the bank. But the first property I have about, I throw big lumps of sums of money on it to pay it off quicker. So every other year I'm paying off a property. Wow. So that's, you know, so it's eventually I'm not going to owe. You know, I'm gaining the property. So every other year, every couple of years I'm gaining the property. So eventually I'm not going to owe. I'm going to be free and clear on all my properties. Eventually, it might be the last day and I die the next day, right? So that's the goal. That's the plan. That's my plan. So either I'm gonna leave my children 100 properties. I'm gonna make the number 100 properties,
right,
free and clear,
right,
or 100 properties, 50 of them free and clear, 50 of them still got bank notes on them, but it's gonna be a trust, so it's gonna be taken care of, even with the property management and all that. So you want to set, if you have properties, if you have a business, okay, businesses, when Walmart died, didn't nothing fall down and all that. We need to do the same thing with our mom pops, our real estate, as they do with those big corporations.
Right.
And we don't do that. I got a partner right now. I got an associate, his father passed away with multiple properties in the same thing that I'm doing. And they got to go through probate. And they all over the place. They don't know what to do.
Take care of that business.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the business could have, if he would have said it, and I'm not understanding why this brother didn't set this stuff up. You know, I thought he was a hell of a businessman. That doesn't make him not.
Right. It just he can take care of that piece of the
He didn't take care of that because, we think we're going to live. But he's another reason because his death was a fluke death. Slip and fail type shit. Like, damn.
Right.
I'm saying that can, everybody, you know.
That's why you gotta be ready.
You have to be ready. Now,
Walking down music.
and wills, and your will, and have a will, have a living, have all that, man. So my people, get your, like, even if you just have a job, if you own a car, if you own a car, you don't want your children fighting over that car. We gonna sell the car. Well, Bobby need a car. Junior need a car. Well, we gonna sell the car and split the money in 2 ways.
I call that, and I don't like saying it on the podcast, but some of us still got this nigga mentality, right? And we gotta shake that.
Man,
Yeah.
you know what?
It's being shaken, but it's sometimes a slow process.
Right.
And you may not have it, but maybe half your family.
Well, you gotta understand where it comes from. So you can't blame
it.
it.
It's about today. Now sell it and get the money now. Well, they broke, and that money, you done ran through that money in 2-3 years.
So it's called education. We need to educate, financial
Do
education.
you know that nigger was a compliment? Nigger was a rebellious black person. When you wasn't a rebellious black person, they called you uncle. Shit like that. But when you was when you was buck wilding out there, you was a nigga. So we kind of reversed that.
with the nigga.
Yeah, because back in when
I did.
we were enslaved, that nigger, that was someone who angered or went against the rules. That nigger. But when you were submissive and doing the things you need to do, you was an uncle.
Uncle Tom?
But that's called an uncle. Like, that was the term.
And so when they wrote the book,
Yeah, Uncle Tom is just stemmed from the term uncle, meaning a good Negro.
right.
Uncle.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you were called an uncle, you was a good Negro. That just, hey, uncle.
I thought it was Uncle Tom.
No, uncle meant good Negro.
No. Actually, in
It was
the
called boy,
what's the name of the book?
uncle. When you was defiant and didn't do what you was supposed to do, they called you nigger. Now, of course, during the civil rights movement, it came back around to be derogatory, this, and that. And it still had the same term, nigger, because what are you niggas trying to do to get some rights? So, yeah, man. But the original nigger, that was the brother who was wilding out.
So
Always.
segue to Kyrie. And
Wilding out.
We ain't talking about that.
so Kyrie, this Kyrie situation, and it's an old situation. With this Kyrie situation, how a lot of our brothers, Stephen A, as you were saying earlier, Stephen A and Shaq and Charles Barkley,
That A is ain't shit.
how all of them jumped on. And I'm gonna defend and not defend all three of these gentlemen, Barkley, Stephen A, and Shaq, right? But it was crazy how they jumped on the guy. I still don't know what he did. I mean, you can for me posting a movie poster, and so that made me research the ICUC, Israel. What is Israel Christian United Israelite United?
Yeah, that's right.
So that made me researching, right? Not a hate group. Don't advocate hate. They just another form of Black Panther. Same thing. They took the Black Panther thing. That's what it looked like to me. Don't start. You can't call me. If there's anybody on there. They took the Black Panther, and started, because they do everything the Black Panthers do. They promote family, getting your life together, no smoking, all that. Unity. So I don't know what a hate is in it, because they claim to be something that they were. They researched and believe that they are from the tribe of Udu, some Ethiopia, a fourth. I didn't so much research. So this is the thing. They believe they come from the tribe. In the
Nevrons people, right?
in the Jewish community, accept that tribe is a tribe from Jerusalem. That's the tribe, right? And it's in Ethiopia. So a fourth of the slaves that came, the Africans that came to America, were from that Ethiopian tribe. I mean, from that Ethiopia. I'm not here for debate. I'm maybe wrong a little bit, but because I wasn't studying it. I was researching it. I wasn't going to even speak on it again. I just needed to know for myself. So I may be off a little bit. But so for them to claim that, it's not far-fetched that they're claiming something that,
But that wasn't, and on Stephen A's show, he had the president of the Defamation League, that wasn't their issue. Because there was some truth in that. It was the Hitler part.
What was Hitler part?
He didn't say nothing about it.
He did. No, Kyrie did. But in the movie.
But I can't be responsible for somebody.
No, I agree with you. But I'm just explaining.
So don't watch the movie?
No. Not saying neither one of those. I'm saying, but the issue for them, I'm not saying the issue for me or whatever. The issue for them was not that. They freely accept, black Jews and black Hebrew. They have no, and I heard the guy say, hey, I ain't got no problem with none of that. We got black folks that claim to be Jews and we accept them. And if you claim to be a Jew, I'm accepting you. They said so. They had issue with the Hitler part of the movie.
So what part is Hitler?
I don't know. I don't know. But that's, from my understanding, that was the clarification. It was the Hitler references as though Hitler did something good, or it was that they had concern with. Okay. The Hitler part.
So here we go. We know. But again, at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith, Barkley, and all these other men, we did exactly what they expected us to do, right? And that's trounce on this man, just dog him out for them. Now that same show we're referencing, one of the hosts is a white host. He didn't say one thing. He never disrespected this black man. He never called this black man nothing. He sat back with his arms folded. Please go back and rewatch the tapes and segments. His arms was folded. He turned right, turned left, listened to the comments. He never said nothing.
Kenny didn't either.
Kenny stood on that square. Kenny, my dog. Shout out to Kenny, the Jet Smith, the only real brother on TV now, because Shannon.
No, Shannon was
Shannon.
Man, I look now.
I don't give you credit when you come back and say something. No, man, you said it in the beginning.
Why not? Did he? Okay, well, so Shannon, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know. So Shannon was like, if everybody's telling me, like you just said, everybody was telling me originally that the movie was preaching Hitler's. But so what? They make Hitler movies all the time.
All the time.
But they were saying
Hitler documentaries.
You're right. I mean, I'm lost. They made a whole movie with Hitler in it, made by a Jew, the Schindler's List. The Schindler's List. My bad. I don't want my Jews on TikTok shit. But the Jews, they
I'm with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But again, so I'll be the first one to tell you that if Kyrie came out and said harmful and hurtful things to these people, I'd be the first one to say he's wrong.
Right.
I was a practicing Muslim for 28 years. Mm-hmm. I had some bad experiences with some Jews, so I can't group all Jews together.
Right.
I went to Israel, called me nigga, this and that. Had to run in with a few Jews who that's who they were. That I didn't attribute that to all Jews, right?
Okay.
So if Kyrie says some of those things, I was like, yeah, he wrong for that. Only thing he failed to do, and I say this all the time, is that they being these high profile men, they need people to articulate what they mean. That's their failure, that they can't do that. Had he had a high profile Jewish person of note who knows the history of so-called black Jews and lost tribes, articulate that for him, it would have been over.
Well, you just ended it right there. That was it.
That's where a lot of the brothers, he couldn't articulate his stance. Even though he's an intelligent brother, he couldn't articulate that.
But why did he need to articulate it? Why do I have to explain to you?
Well,
because
it's not him explaining it. That's why you put a Jewish person up there with that same knowledge and say, this is what he should have said.
Free speech.
I would like for you guys to defer to Rabbi such and such, who wrote books on, who's an author, a leading spokesman on. I would like you guys to refer to his, and then that's it. Thank you guys very much. No more. And then he leaves the stage. And then he put that on the Jews, on the whites, on everybody. Because then they go to this expert dude and let the cameras and the microphone go in that dude's face.
I agree with you 1,000,000%.
But this is about him posting. Go ahead.
Right.
But we get lost on the aspect of how the brothers responded because the brothers went too far, and you helped me to understand that because I caught on to it afterwards. And Stephen A, who's I support Stephen A. I support Shaq, Charles Barkley. I support these brothers because these no. See,
I'm supporting none of these brothers.
B. Okay, Stephen A. said this. He said, "You look on ESPN 15 years ago. How many of us was on ESPN 15 years ago?"
Stephen Smith said that on his podcast. He didn't have the guts or the manhood or this, and that to say that on TV.
But hold on. Again, he don't have to say it on TV because he should. But
on TV
but
is
he
where he's disrespecting brothers. He's not disrespecting brothers on the podcast.
I'm gonna be clear.
Disrespecting brothers on TV.
I agree with you that those brothers went too far, and it was a learning experience for those brothers. That will never happen again. I don't think that's gonna happen the same way it did.
This is what I need them brothers to say if they want me back on board.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong, and I'm sorry, and I should have stood with you, Kyrie. Then I'm back with them brothers. Until I hear that, I don't want to hear, oh, they went too far. They trying to emasculate the brother. Man, you helped them go that far. You empowered them to go that far.
I agree. But let's wait and see what happens on that tip right there.
It ain't gonna happen.
It may not happen in public, but behind the scenes, let's see what's happening.
Hell, because in public, see, that's what I'm saying. We talked about it. Man, you can't pull out the knife, stab me, and then call 911, and because you call 911, say you my boy.
Yeah, but see, you playing into that. You playing into their game because now we're tearing each other down. It's like you no longer being accepted into the community.
I'm not tearing these things. All I said was to those men apologize to the man whose career they almost ruined. Until they do that, I'm standing with the brother they tried to ruin. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that. But what I'm trying to say is, Stephen A. has done a lot of good work at ESPN in the sports world by bringing up men and women of color.
A history of destroying brothers.
No, he talks. No, I don't think he destroyed anybody.
To me, Stephen A's rhetoric has a history.
He ain't destroyed nobody.
Of talking.
Nah, he ain't destroyed anybody. He talks a lot of crap.
His efforts didn't lead to that, but his words were.
I guarantee you, if they tried to kick Kyrie out of the league for that, he'd be the number one person. He asked
for him to be kicked out. Stephen A. Smith said that brother should never wear a Brooklyn uniform again. He asked him
another Brooklyn uniform, and you sure that wasn't related to the previous.
No, he also said Kyrie, he needs to retire. He needs to retire from basketball. He needs to. He's saying all that stuff. Man.
It's a lot of rhetoric
But that rhetoric, whites are listening to, and they're saying, "Hey, Stephen might have got a point." And the other whites come there, "Hey, did you hear what Stephen A. said?"
I think that's where he realized that, hey, I can't do this shit like that no more because they are listening and they will kick him out of the league.
Then apologize.
He will, but it won't be in public. It's gonna be behind the scenes.
Has he not apologized?
Nah,
it's gonna be behind the scenes. You won't know about it. Kyrie will know.
Stephen A. and Shannon was the first two people, and later Shaq and Barkley. Those four were the first 4 black men that I ever heard the word suspend out of. Nobody else said that. As a matter of fact, the commissioner said, we do not have anything in our bylaws. So he said any punishment would have to come from the Brooklyn. He said that.
You were right.
But two brothers like, he need to get suspended, he gets suspended. And a few days later, what did the owner do? I suspended it. Because of what black men were saying.
My only problem with what you're saying is that there's no ability that if I make a mistake, and you said you used to be a Muslim, hey, if I did you wrong, I apologize. You're supposed to accept that.
That's how you're supposed to. I'm waiting for him to do that.
Has he not apologized?
I don't know.
I'm thinking that
so you want the apology for yourself?
No, it have to be for me.
You just said it got to be public.
But I'm saying because public is where you assaulted me.
And public is where Stephen A. Smith has got on he's got on this platform and said what he said about
where you assaulted
they're doing it wrong.
Then you write me.
I don't know about Shaq did something. I ain't paying
attention. And same thing. Shaq did his thing
but I heard where
everybody listen to these podcasts.
I don't listen to podcasts though. I heard Stephen A. come to bats for Kyrie.
After he was going too far,
right?
Let me be the first one to say the man should have been suspended, but now y'all taking it too far.
Right.
It's too late. You the one calling for the suspension.
Okay, I don't agree. So Kyrie, what's the boy's name? Stephen A. I've heard what Stephen A. came and said, and I agree with him as far as, man, you know, I don't know if he said an apology or not because I don't sit there and watch ESPN all day anymore. And Shannon, I heard what he said.
They fighting for this brother, man.
Right. So
after they stabbed him,
LeBron, KD.
But LeBron really didn't stab him, neither did KD.
No.
Yeah, he did.
KD he said, "Let me be clear." LeBron didn't.
All KD did was cleared up his statements. He did, but he still was riding with the man. He just cleared up what he meant. That's all. He didn't. But in him clearing up what he meant, he didn't take the time to take a jab at the brother.
He didn't do what Stephen A. and them did.
Right. So he cleared up what he had to say.
But this boils down
he never said that Kyrie was wrong.
How y'all
he was an idiot. He was a fool, and I don't know.
But everybody has come back on the platform that they said it on and said
that the Brooklyn Nets were doing too much with this apology and then the donation and going to get counseling. They came and said that's too much.
Right.
But again, you opened that up when you were demanding that they do more.
He made a mistake.
And so because of that, that's why they're doing too much now, because you opened up the door, because you was the man one screaming this and this and that. And that needs to happen to this man.
But in the end, actually, this has worked to our benefit as a whole in the end, because now they didn't, and it's funny, if you listen to some of the commentators out there that's a different color than we are, they realize like, oh, I think they pushed this one too far, because now it's actually unified us in this.
But they wouldn't have pushed it.
But my thing is, we've passed that because they've come out and said their stance has changed.
They only came out and said that because they themselves said, "Wow,
the backlash.
I'm responsible."
No, it was the backlash. Shaq said it was the backlash.
Right. So again, if we don't start,
Stephen A. said it was the backlash.
If we don't start saying them brothers was wrong.
We did.
Right, and that's the only reason why they back. That's the only reason.
So didn't it work?
So
didn't it work?
Listen.
It worked.
So how sincere? I guess I was.
No, it's sincere.
Man, you stabbed.
Okay, well, how sincere?
And now you call 911.
Well, how sincere were they with the original
They wasn't.
They were.
They wasn't.
Why do you call for a man to get suspended? Why do you call for a man to lose?
I hate to say it, but
I hate that. You said to be on the good side of somebody.
Right. Okay.
It was about their money.
Right.
They didn't believe that. They knew he was right.
So
that's who you are.
You're
not about community.
I'm about money. You can't.
You can be about money and not demean a brother.
I agree with you.
Jimmy Smith was about money. He didn't say one thing about it.
He's tough.
It was wrong.
But they come back from that.
But nobody. But again,
you not forgiving him. In other words,
no, man. It ain't for me to forgive him.
That's what it sounds like.
It's on Kyrie.
Kyrie's forgave him.
Yeah. Kyrie's okay with it now.
That nigga weak.
See, you just exposed that this is. You exposed yourself on this with this.
It's personal.
Exactly.
It's not personal. It's just this brother used his platform multiple times to destroy young black people.
Okay, let's sum it up.
I don't know what Stephen A. does in the community, but we all
a lot.
He does.
Listen to his podcast.
Why we know
Stephen
what Kyrie does?
I watched.
So I put it out there.
I watched.
We gonna sum this up because we gonna talk about my boy Deion. Yeah. So we gonna sum this up.
We're gonna sum it up with that A, and Stephen A. stands for ain't
No, man, that brother's doing it, man. We need him.
After the fact, women,
we need
that's
him.
when the brother slap you across your face and say he's sorry.
So Deion takes the job in Colorado.
Take that job, Deion.
Brian.
I'm all for it.
Man, I love that dude, man. That dude, that man, congratulations.
This man came to the Jackson. I don't know if the Jackson State people are saying it or just black people in general. This brother came and showed you the way.
The way.
He didn't say, I'm here for life. I'm gonna show you how to do this.
He said that, and he doesn't need to be there for life.
Because somebody, listen, I'm gonna show you fellas the way. I love you, B. Hey, whatever your name is across from you, my guy. If somebody come give me some money,
I'm gone.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Now he said, but he do it.
Right.
Because Deion, and I've always felt this, Deion got higher aspirations beyond. Some of us are visionaries, right? We all in here are visionaries. That's why we were with. Deion's a visionary. He was thinking way beyond Jackson State and HBCUs. He did that job.
But
and he's thinking beyond Colorado.
Yeah.
This brother's gonna be in an NFL court.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
Yeah, I think he is. I think
What,
it's
and what?
NFL.
He said he don't want the NFL. But
I
just standing down don't mean you. What was
He won't Florida State.
Hey,
He won Florida State.
You know
Now,
what?
that I agree.
You know what's so sad? If he does want the NFL, how you getting 34-year-old dudes, 32-year-old dudes, never played college football in their life, coaching in the NFL and in the NBA. You have Shanahan, who never played football, never.
Oh, his pedigree is
Right. This was up on his father his whole life, teaching him whatever. And his father, because we know all that nepotism that's in the league, he now coached, genius coach, whatever you want. Then the guy he put on, Daniels, who's now the coach of Miami, never played football. He's 30-something years old. But you got a brother like Deion. Why he got to go to all these different jobs to prove?
Well, Deion, because he wasn't doing anything
you know what I'm saying?
in football.
Man, a guy like that, man, what you need to do. You play at the highest level. You work with the highest level coaches. You know the game.
Well, I will say this.
You know
I think I agree with what
black.
you're saying, but I think the way you're saying it is a little off because I don't think you have to play the game to be a good coach. I don't think that's required.
I agree with that too.
I do.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think you have to. I think it's value in playing the game, a lot of value. But all I'm saying is, Deion has to jump through all these. And this is if we don't even know he want to go to pro level because he stated he did. But if he does, he got to do all that.
Yeah.
You would think that a man with that stature could just say, "Hey guys, I want to coach," and he's supposed to. Hey, cool man, we got a spot for you.
Like just what happened with Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday went straight from
That's all I'm saying.
ESPN to he coached.
When this brother says, "Hey man, I want to coach,"
And that's
he
what-
ain't supposed to start out at these various
and that's
levels.
what kind of
When
upset.
you got all these 30-year-old dudes,
Right, and B, that's what upsets me about how you feel about Shannon because Shannon was the number one person on his show saying Jeff Saturday and Stephen A.
But see, here's the thing.
That's what
My
I do.
issue with Shannon is temporary.
Okay, thank you. All right,
It's
then
temporary.
So-
I'll take Shannon
so
over
Jack-
Stephen A. any
so-
day of the week.
because he brought that. He said Deion got to go over these hurdles.
But
Jeff Saturday
now,
was
one
straight
thing I'll
from.
say about Shannon, he'll give you 8 things and 2 bad ones. But
So now he's at Colorado. He left Jackson State, and then we have all these. I'm not gonna call them prominent black men.
crazy.
Dr. Umar, and all these.
That brother ain't problem.
We got all these brothers, speaking. A lot of brothers speaking
and all
against
you got is a YouTube channel.
against
You ain't got no network show.
Deion for. Nobody's ever told me. I need to know what did he do negative.
Nothing.
I don't get it.
Those young men,
I see nothing pop.
Those young men had an opportunity to be with that man for 3 years. That man showed them how to integrity. That man showed them how to be family oriented. That man showed them through his interactions with his children.
He did.
Man, that man showed them so much that they probably wouldn't have had. I know I didn't grow up without a male father, but my uncle, he was my guy, but he didn't. He lived out of town. I only saw him summers and stuff. But he was so instrumental in my life, the impact he made on me. So this dude in 3, let me break it down like this. Let me get real personal. My name is Khaled. You know why my name is Khaled?
No.
Because I had a guidance counselor in high school named Khaled.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So that man made that man had the opportunity to make that kind of profound effect on those young people.
You did,
You know what I'm saying?
no doubt.
And that's valuable. I heard this young lady, I sure want to put her name out there. She went to Jackson State. She was dogging his brother out. She said that this is what's wrong with the black family. Black men are always leaving. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, now when you're not on TikTok, we can talk. You done lost your goddamn rabbit mind.
I agree
How
with
the
you.
hell you gonna say this was wrong with you? Yeah, they always leaving. And then she gonna say, that's the same thing as leaving for a white girl. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's.
I don't care.
Oh
Shit.
my goodness.
But B, you at our age,
I thought we were still on, they cut you off on the cuss.
we wise.
They cut the.
See, and I tell my daughters this. See, I don't like getting played by shit like that. I want my mind to focus on stuff that's productive. So I think people just gotta say shit to say shit.
Right, no, she meant that.
No, I know she meant that, but I don't. I don't give her nothing.
So this is what happened to black people, and this is
I don't give a nothing.
so if we have older relatives that are in their 70s, Deion is there at Jackie Robinson. Took Jackie Robinson, took our player and put him in the white league, and we love. That's how we feel. We always feel that they take our best. But man, I want him to go there because I want white men, white women to see a good brother.
Yeah.
So they can see, oh wow, I was wrong. They're not all this way. They're not all this way. And we need to have black leaderships on that level.
Most people agree
they
with
need
you.
to see that.
So I'm not going to listen to that woman.
Those chancellors and those
talk that
presidents,
stuff.
they need to see, wow,
Yeah.
this dude, when that dude came in, he came in on the cussing version of All Eyes on Me.
Mm-hmm.
And he told him, this is how I get down. And the white, he said, I just learned that. That's how. So he telling you, hey man, I'm doing this my way.
What he said?
We need to see that.
What he go there and say? He said, and when he did the first interview with he had the cats, you know, he said, hey, I'm bringing some dogs and they hunt.
They hunt and they eat. So
Yeah.
man,
Quarterback transferred the next day.
Hey man,
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
The white boy.
Yeah, white boy. He's out. He already,
hey, man,
yeah, he's in the portal.
So that's all I'm saying is that
His daddy told him to.
we need to see. They need to see that. Now, everybody's tripping. Deion did an incredible job, and he sacrificed everything. I told this same lady, he was the black Jesus of HBCUs. No, he wasn't. He elevated all of us. He just happened to do it at Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
But he elevated HBCUs. And just like Jesus, you didn't have Jesus forever. You had that brother till he was 33 years old. So y'all, Deion wasn't forever. He gone now. It is what it is. Cherish what they did. He put the spotlight on it. I'm an HBCU graduate. He put the spotlight on that for all of us. He talked about the differences and the indignities and all of these things that these schools face for all of us. He did that for all HBCUs. Man, everybody, she said, we used to sell our games before Deion. Yeah, but you wasn't on TV.
You wasn't on TV. That TV money.
You wasn't on College Game Day.
That TV money's good money.
You wasn't on you wasn't all that. So, okay. Yeah.
I can only give ignorance so much of my brain power.
This dude's impact on HBCUs, it's not over.
Yeah.
And like Damon said, he said, all right, here's my assistant. They won. He know the plan. Here you go. So he not leaving you without guidance. And what coach, white coach, and I'm not being racist, but what white coach leaves a school and go to another school and tell that school to make a donation to the school he leaves? See, even in that, Deion thinking about them.
Yeah.
He up there, man, y'all got all this. Y'all need to feed the have-nots. Y'all need to make a donation.
And when you
they making a donation to that
how
school,
good their
man.
facilities were. I didn't know Colorado had facilities like that.
What?
Colorado back in the day, man. I ain't followed Colorado since Cordell Stewart, but Colorado was all right back in the day. They was in the Big Eight.
They went and got them cats from California.
They was in the Big Eight.
Cordell Stewart and all them cats, and yeah.
Hey man, Colorado, don't they have a national championship?
Did they win that when Cordell was?
I think they might have won the national championship.
But in Benning, I think they did. Because my boy Rob was playing. And I actually went to a couple of their games.
Did Colorado get a national
They
championship?
might have.
Colorado
No.
won the national championship, man. So
Google it.
So man,
I don't think so. But back to Deion. I know y'all on Deion, but I'm back to Deion. How these brothers with a platform are knocking Deion for doing something that
everybody would do.
Right, everybody would do. Everybody. But then it was a guy, I can't think of his name. I can, but I'm not gonna say it because he probably tried to sue us. There's a guy that was saying with ESPN, one of these other shows, that the problem he has with Deion, because Deion said he was there forever.
Okay, forever came something to do with that. But see, man,
They won in 1990. They won in the national championship.
I thought they had a national championship. So here's the thing, man. This is how hard they make it. Any brother that go there now, damn, man, this ain't the only job I want.
Right.
I don't want to be here forever. Professors don't have to be there forever. Teachers don't have to be there forever.
And it's about money.
I got to be there forever because I'm the coach.
They was paying Deion Sanders $150,000. I know they gave him $300,000,
which he donated to the school,
right?
right?
They gave him $300,000. It was said he donated $150,000.
$150,000, that's right.
And so this is the thing. You have other head coaches at
He
HBCU
made $300,000
leaving their head coaching HBCU job to go with Deion to be an assistant. So what's that telling you?
And we don't even think about that part. Yeah, the money is terrible. That's what it's telling us.
Right.
But you know what? I'm an HBCUer. I understand, guys, we don't have the economic power. I'm going to be the first to say that. I know I said the money is terrible, but the money is terrible. It's terrible on the professor levels. When I went to HBCU, guys, we had some pretty terrible professors. a lot of first, no experience, because that's what we can afford to pay. A lot of African brothers, not just African brothers, but thick accents, we couldn't even understand it. And I had a lot of teachers from India, like, I can't understand you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not disrespecting, I just can't understand.
We had that at OSU.
So you had a lot of that because, those people are not tenured, just starting out, they're cheap. So I get the money issue. So I'm not going to, like I said, I'm a proud HBCU graduate. So I'm not going to talk about that, but we know we got some issues economically. That just came out, by the way. It was some money issues that changed, so we got those. But what I want to speak on is that he's taking coaches with him so that they can get an opportunity to go to another school too. So he's even elevating that. You say, oh, you leaving HBCUs. Yeah, man. And these brothers might get a Power 5 school or another school that can recruit other brothers. So Deion is growing his tree, and he's letting other black men, why should only JSU black men experience the integrity and a great man like Deion? He's taking that show on the road. Now he's going to meet thousands of other brothers he's going to impact. Then he's going to go somewhere and impact thousands of other brothers.
He's a visionary, man. He's a visionary. He's
breaking that ceiling. Black Jesus, man. Man, that brother is... Here's a quick story. Michael Irvin, he said this. He said, back when I was wilding out, when Deion first joined the team, he said, I had something in my hand I didn't have in my hand. He said, Deion ran up to him, grabbed it, come on, no, man, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. No, man. No, we ain't doing that. That's Deion. Like, dude, we ain't finna do this. Man, you ain't finna do this, man. I want better for you. I mean, he just joined the team.
The White House. You might know what the White House is.
You know what I'm saying? He just joined the team. And he already want what's best for another black man.
Yeah.
And I just don't get why we tripping on this, man.
No, we're not.
I mean, not us, but I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm not going to allow a few people to put the narrative on this situation. This is successful across the board.
Right.
You can find black folks who gonna hate on Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, LeBron. That's just where we at. So I don't give them too much of my time.
But let me tell you what I hated.
I
100% hated this. I condemn this. I'm speaking out on this now, and it's shame for all of you. I hated these dudes. Stephen A was one of them. Although he was still defending, but he still was one of them. Why did we even talk about this on national television? And then we using words like sellout and all that. And then we using words like black people.
Be specific. What do we
that's
talk
what
about?
What?
Saying. Talk about what?
Black people think he was a sellout.
Who?
Black people mad. They were saying this on CNN, on Speak for Yourself, on
Bobby Jones. I mean, was Bahami Jones? What was that? Now the black guy was on CNN. That was some bullshit.
Right now, but what I'm saying is all of them brought that up, and I was so mad about that. Because, black people need to do this. As black people, Joy Taylor. Black people sometimes, we can be petty. Stop all that. Because white OU was mad when Lincoln Riley left. You want no white person on ESPN saying, white people think he did this, and white people think they wasn't doing it. And why we got to get up there and do all that? Black people can be petty. Black people do it.
Because we different.
Man, because that's the problem. We're doing too damn much. Nobody white gets on these platforms and talk about white people's feelings. Lincoln Riley left. A whole bunch of people was damn mad at the University of Oklahoma. Did anybody talk about white people's feelings in that? No. Did anybody call him a sellout for going to a bigger job? No.
I agree because some of us still got the crab in the barrel mentality that we got to shake. But
and Joy Taylor fine as hell, by the way. But keep going.
But even with, and I think this is related, but a little sidebar. So my dog was talking to this gentleman and was talking about how bad black people got it, and then they brought up the fact that there is a record number of black billionaires out there and a record number of black millionaires, right? And
per capita, we win in that game. Go ahead.
Yeah. Per capita. You look at our population. 12.4, 12.6, 13, however you want to round it off. It changes all the time. With the number of millionaires is based on that population, we kill it.
Thank you. And then they didn't believe that we should be voting either. And I think that was all garbage. Okay, so the response back was, they sell out. See, that's the mentality some of us got.
Exactly. But let's have that conversation at the barbershop, in the community. Why did Stephen A., this time he did defend 100%. But why did he even entertain or even mention those parties? He wasn't by himself. That
Touchy had to.
Acho, he was. No, you don't.
He explained.
No, you don't have to explain black people to white people. Stop that.
They
don't explain themselves to us.
Well,
the fact that blacks was upset, why we bring that up?
So
why we even got to put that
for
in
centuries.
Why we got to put that in
For centuries, we've been the entertainment to to white people. The Cotton Club. I mean, I don't know nothing about the Cotton Club. The movie said we couldn't go to it, but yeah. So we've been the entertainment, and nothing's changed. We're still the entertainment to white people. So when you accept those, just what was the dude Stephen Fetchit?
Yeah.
Seen a documentary on him.
Yeah, man.
Millionaire. Right.
Own a car collection.
Right. Yeah. And so, but the black community knocked him.
NAACP killed that brother.
And he did so much. Right. He did so much for the black community with his finances that he couldn't do if he wasn't Stephen Fetchit.
Right.
But you hated him for being Stephen Fetchit. Yeah. Look what he did with the proceeds. Right. And so I'm going to say this. Stephen A does a lot for the black community.
Thank you.
Even though he's stepping and fetching it. Hold on, B. Even though he's stepping and fetching it, he does a lot for the black community. Hold on.
He never dogged the black community.
Hold on. Shaquille O'Neal, even though he steps and fetches every so often, he's doing it for the entertainment of who's paying him to be able to help the black community.
Say that again, Damon. Say that so we can hear that clearly. Say that again. Say that again.
You getting all excited. Hold on. But the bottom line is, you can do that without destroying a brother. Who did he destroy? When you go and you make those comments and you degrade a brother's intelligence and you make those statements about brothers on national
He's not destroying.
But who did he destroy?
He ain't destroying none of that.
Character.
No. Whose character did he destroy?
When he called that man an idiot.
Then he came back and clarified it.
He came back and clarified. He shouldn't have said it. So you wouldn't have to come back and clarify it if you wasn't in such a hurry to be the white man's dog. But when he did come back and clarify it, it was on a whole different platform. That's not the platform you use to degrade the brother. So don't use another platform to. And then he didn't apologize. He just what I mean by idiot is that he messing up his money. The number one rule is don't mess up your money. Well, I didn't say that. They say, Kyrie, don't mess up your money.
But I really want
nobody in that moment thought he was talking about money. Who in that moment, when he called that man an idiot on national television, thought he was talking about money?
But I want the audience to hear what Damon said in regard to.
They heard him.
Shaq. I think you talked over him at the end.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. You talked over him. Man. Could you say that clearly and we'll be quiet?
What did I say?
And you said that they play a role.
Right.
And that but they still get back to the community. I'm never going
Well, he said more than that.
I'm never going to take away brothers helping the community. That's first and foremost.
Shaq did help so many young kids with poverty and school and
I'm not comparing Shaq to this.
Stephen A has done.
But if I rape women, but now I donate to rape causes.
Come on, B. How you going to relate it to rape?
But what I'm saying is, you can't be the person.
I didn't say that.
So in Shaq's situation, so again, Shaq's stature and his to-do list, or what I shouldn't say to-do list, his list of giving, that supersedes this one comment he made. Absolutely. Shaq deserves a pass because of all he did. But we still gotta let Shaq know he was wrong.
And we did.
We agree.
So
we agree with that.
And so now, right, okay, and so now, Shaq,
it worked.
Come at me where you offended me. Get on TNT and say, I said some things.
But that's for you.
No, I'm saying that's for us.
No. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna say. Let me talk. So you said Shaquille got on his podcast, right?
Right.
His podcast. Who listened to his podcast?
A lot of people. He's very influential.
A lot of people. The Big Shaq podcast is probably one of the ones that's up there.
Okay, so that means a lot of people heard it.
A lot of people heard it.
So again, you are absolutely. I stopped doing. I'm controversial. I was real controversial on Facebook at one point. Mm-hmm. So my son and I had a business. He came in and said, "Pops, you got to stop doing this because you're hurting our business." And I made the decision. I said the conscious decision to say, "Okay, I ain't gonna stop. I'm me. What's come out my mouth, come out my mouth. So what I'm gonna stop doing is dependent on those people who I'm offending by standing up for me.
Shaq got more money than anybody. That's
Has nothing to do with that.
He ain't got to do.
He might want it all.
So I'm gonna leave it at here, guys, and then I'm moving on from Shaq because I do Shaq.
Okay, let him talk about Shaq.
But I think Shaq, man, again, all he's done, community, I believe he's a Muslim. All of those things, they don't get washed away. They count, they matter, and please continue to do them. All I'm saying is, why would you even go there in the first place? And this is the last thing I'm going to say on. Those platforms, national networks, television, they will let you degrade a brother, but they won't let you come back and give you airtime to amend that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Don't demean a brother in the beginning.
Here's my last reply, and that's why I wish we could have bottled up and definitely what Deion said earlier, what Dee said earlier. Some cats, and Stephen A alluded to this, right? Some cats is like, I'm gonna play your game, and I'm gonna build wealth.
Hold on, B. Go ahead.
I'm gonna play your game, because in a sense, we all play that game. We all got a job. Now, even what you do. Everybody who got a job and everybody who go out, even got a business, you playing the American game, the capitalist system. That's where we live. You playing the game. And some of us, the LeBrons and some of these other people that we talked about tonight, is playing the long game. I'm going to work within the system, and I'm going to gain power, and I'm going to gain influence within this system, and then I'm going to take it over where I don't need you. I.e. meaning, what was the brother in Atlanta that built his own studio?
Yeah, it's
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry played the game. And then once he built enough wealth, he built his own studio where he's the boss.
But
and he talks
the way.
B.
Hold
on. We got you. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah. So B, sometimes, especially this is America. First of all, and you know America,
you don't have to do that to tear
Where's
down
the button? Where's the button?
You don't have to tear down brothers in the process of building your wealth. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, now you threw producer.
I agreed about not tearing a brother down. But what I'm trying to tell you is these brothers we talking about are powerhouses that have helped thousands.
Who gonna follow you if you didn't start brothers on the way up? The other brothers gonna be like, nah, man, I can't remember you did this.
Hey, B.
Who gonna roll with you?
B.
Let's get a start out. You can't have a conversation. We ain't heard what he's saying.
Did they dog out Martin Luther King at one point?
Yeah,
of course.
Did they dog out Harriet Tubman at one point?
I don't know.
Did they dog out Frederick Douglass at one point? Did they dog out everybody?
Okay, when you say they on Frederick Douglass, you know that's my guy.
I know, that's why I said it.
Yeah, and black people did dog him out.
That's my point. You got folks who looking at, and I agree with, I'm not disagreeing with them getting on, that you have a problem with them getting on there saying Kyrie, but I'm saying, and Damon hit on it, their audience is ESPN, probably 75% white.
So destroy the brother.
No, they didn't destroy.
And I'm gonna get some money.
Okay, now I'm gonna say this. I'm
trying to tell you how business works, but that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah,
when you're already a millionaire, $100 million man,
they going for billions.
At the expense of destroying.
They want to own teams.
Okay, hold on. So now I'm gonna say this before B, please, Mark, mute him because he's gonna interrupt.
No. What's he called me?
B.
He said ignorant.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you said I was ignorant. Like, no, bro, come on.
B's been getting very emotional.
Right, he's getting emotional.
No. Go ahead, man. We just gonna agree to disagree.
We're gonna agree to disagree. We've been agreeing to disagree.
And we agree with more than we disagree, by the way.
No, we disagree.
We actually agree
so
more than we disagree.
So you have people that have to take the crumbs, right, in order to build what they need to build.
Right.
So I get, because I took a lot of the crumbs and did a lot of the fetch and catch it, whatever, step and fetch it, to get to where I needed to be in order to do what I'm doing now. Right. I had to sit back and shut the fuck up and all of that. And
that's okay.
B.
But I'm just saying, like, what you describing is fine.
I'm gonna let you talk. I'm just trying to clear
what you're describing is fine. You had to take.
But still, I gotta let me complete my thought.
Things to get to where you're going.
Okay, let me complete my thought. So I understand a lot of other brothers doing it the way that they think they need to do it. You know, just like with Kyrie, how he did a lot of goofy stuff to be able to get to where he needed to be. I think Kyrie got a plan. I hope he does.
Got a plan.
You know, I think Shaquille, like you said, these guys are going after the teams. the banks. They're trying to do all of that. They're trying to be the Jews.
And I commend them.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? So until they have enough on their own, because all their wealth is not coming from nothing. It's something they're doing, but their wealth is tied to Nike deals,
Papa John,
ESPN deals, you know what I'm saying? Their wealth is tied to the white community. Mm-hmm. And until they have enough wealth to where they don't have to be tied to the white community, I think it's going to be a great revolution, a great revolution. And because, right, and a lot of these brothers because like you said, they saying their podcast, that platform is a bigger black race. I mean, a bigger black.
Exactly what Stephen A said.
Right. So whatever they say on ESPN, okay, we don't care what we saying. You know, I stepped and fetched it. I had a white boss. Man, I used to sit back and I had a white investor I was working for. I used to sit back and he used to say stuff and say this and say, he used to say all kind of stupid stuff. The office girl used to say out, and another black investor, they had a partner. He wouldn't say nothing. When they get to talking and say some silly stuff, and I'm about to say something, he'll do me like this. Mm-hmm. Leave that alone.
Get that money first.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what somebody say in front of. We don't care. Right. We give them the power by thinking.
But I think we're missing the boat, though.
You're missing the boat.
No, you won't.
No, because David, everything
you're
saying,
so
no one has an issue with it.
No, but let me. I'm not debating with you. I'm not debating with you.
All I'm criticizing is the fact.
I'm not even criticizing.
I'm saying me. I'm criticizing the fact that the four individuals I'm talking about.
I don't care.
You don't have to destroy or talk negative about a brother on national.
I do have to build your wealth. Well, hold on. I don't see where they destroyed anybody, and if that's their opinion, that's their opinion.
You don't have to destroy.
Hold on, but
you
if that's their
that those comments could have jeopardized this man's basketball career.
It didn't.
I said could have.
It didn't.
It wasn't going to.
If it could have, it would have. It didn't.
Why would you feel the need to even say things, call a man an idiot, demand it?
If you think that these black guys, hold on. If you think these black people, if you think these black guys have that much power, because Kyrie put money in pockets because he put people in seats.
They had the power to just be quiet. They had the power to
but they still had an opinion.
All they had to do was say.
So have you not ever had a negative opinion about a black person? You're saying negative stuff right now about black men.
I'm not going to have
on a platform.
I'm saying a negative opinion about what those black men did to another black man. I'm not talking about them as men or as fathers or none of that. I'm saying in that moment where this took place, they were wrong, and they didn't have to do that. There was nothing. That wasn't on the prompter to say we're gonna type it on the prompter. Read this, Stephen A. Smith, to get him fired. Nobody told them.
If that was their opinion, if that's how they felt, what's wrong with how they felt?
Well, then that's the problem. Why is your opinion that this brother gets suspended?
That's how they felt.
It wasn't nobody else's.
Okay,
these guys.
That's why it's called opinion.
Every day, and
your opinion is to punish this.
They get paid to do that. They get paid to.
Then why was no white broadcast person saying suspended?
Because that wasn't their opinion.
They knew to stay out of that.
Because
they knew to stay out of that.
No, because they knew, like Malcolm X, that the house niggas was gonna call for it, and they did. I'm out, guys. I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. Thank you guys very much. It's 9 o'clock. Hey, thank you guys very much. I'm just out. You brothers can keep talking.
That's not the truth.
Well, they knew they was gonna do it for them, so they didn't have to call for it. Man, y'all know that, man. Y'all know.
He's just to go chill out for a little bit, but
great time. Well, at stepping on.
Bilal is the local militant today. Now, my belief in this, in the whole thing, this is my take on it. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do
to get back.
You know
what I'm saying? So I'm not going. If I got millions coming in, and I might have an opinion, because I had an opinion against them. I was like, when I first heard what you said, without knowing all the information, I said some things about. I'm like, this stupid motherfucker. Because I don't advocate hate.
Right.
So I don't care who's against. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
And he wasn't either.
I don't. Right. And so if he, so that's why I always ask, what was the big deal with this? I had to go. You know something? I remember reading it while I was incarcerated. Mm-hmm. It's a book. So I remember reading the book. I couldn't think. So I had to talk to a friend of mine that was locked up. I said, man, what? It's locked up now. You know, I said, when the last time? Because it's a book that you pass around. Negroes, Hebrews to Negroes. And I said, what? He said he made I forget what he said, but it was something about a comment that Hitler said something pertaining to something, right? Mm-hmm. The guy that wrote the book got on it and said, matter of fact, I need to look it up. I didn't pay too much attention to it, right. But he got on it and was saying some things about it. I wish I would have paid attention to what this brother was talking about. But because when he was saying that he wasn't advocating hate, all he was saying was the history that a white rabbi said the same thing. Mm-hmm. that I didn't quote, but I got it from a white rabbi. I can pull him back up. I got a white rabbi said that the Udu, some tribe in Ethiopia is the lost tribe, pretty much. So it's truth to it.
They didn't have a problem with that.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. They didn't have a problem with that.
So, and whatever Hitler reference in the movie was about, well, Hitler's in a lot of movies about Hitler. So there wasn't a big deal about that. My thing is this: if you have an opinion, you it's okay to all black people opinions don't go together.
Right.
Million people voted for Herschel Walker. Mm-hmm. And 25% of them was black. I mean, 250,000 black people.
How they did, I have no idea, but they did.
Voted for Herschel Walker.
For whatever reason. He could play football. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But that's your opinion.
Right.
So people have opinions. You can't, I don't knock you for having a different opinion towards me.
Right.
And if I don't have Herschel Walker, O.J. Simpson, all these people were great athletes.
Yeah.
I don't care what their politics were. I don't live in Georgia. I wouldn't have voted for Herschel Walker living in Georgia.
By the way, Herschel lives here, by the way. That's crazy that he's even able to run because he lives here in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he lives here, man. He lives here.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And so why that came up. But anyway, I would have, so I didn't agree. I don't and didn't agree with Shaquille, Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, or Shannon originally. I didn't agree with any of them. But they came back. I don't listen to their podcast. So everything I heard them say was on the platform ESPN and FS1. Shaquille's, I seen his on social media.
TNT. Yeah, well, yeah, his reply was on the podcast, but his initial statement was on TNT.
Right.
NFL,
so,
NBA.
Haven't heard anything from Barkley.
I think Barkley's been kind of silent on the whole thing because that's his stick. See, Barkley, he came to power outside of basketball because he was the same guy who said that Republicans are fake Christians.
Right.
So he says these controversial statements. He called people idiots every night. Go any night you watch TNT, he's calling people. That's an idiot. So he's an idiot. He's called Shaq an idiot.
I don't have a problem with, and I don't know why B does have a problem with. I don't see where they were trying to. Stephen A. and some spaghetti. Oh, something. Stephen A. and Kyrie has an issue. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. was advocating for Kyrie to be kicked out the league before this.
I'm glad you stated that because they have other issues going on besides this.
Right. When Kyrie missed half the season because he wanted to go on vacation, whatever reason.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And then the COVID shot thing. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. always had issues with Kyrie.
Had nothing to do with this.
Right. So
before this happened.
And the fact that he came back and recanted shocked me. Mm-hmm. I thought Stephen A. was going to stand on that. Well, it shocked me, but he backed out of it because
backlash.
The bees and And all the backlashes that he was getting. So he had to come back because he's like, I'm going to lose my black community because they take it wrong. My issue with Kyrie is issue with Kyrie. Anything he does, Stephen A got something to say. Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl, he gonna have a problem with that.
He'll have a problem with it. So just like he don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but he knows that it's almost like he plays the game very well, even though this is a little different. Dallas Cowboys is one of the most popular teams in the world. Stephen A knows.
About Jerry Jones, he said
militant back, right, and why didn't he? And I'm gonna tell you why he didn't say nothing about Jerry Jones. He is too powerful.
He didn't say suspend Jerry Jones.
Because he is too, and he probably said, don't, he was 14. But he is too powerful. You know better than to say.
He knows better.
You know something? I'm going to say this.
My point.
You're right. So here's the point I'm making. Here's the point I'm making. When I was ready to step away from the white man's money, I said whatever I wanted to say.
Exactly.
But I had to be willing to step away from the white man's money.
Kevin kick rocks.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell all my people out there that's afraid to step away from your white man's money, meaning your what y'all call y'all's jobs,
9 to 5.
Yeah, what do y'all call them?
Corporate job.
Hey, if they're paying you, this is what I said to myself. If someone is paying me to do something for them, I can do it for myself. So if you're in corporate America and someone is paying you, if somebody is paying you to make hamburgers, that means you can make hamburgers. So make hamburgers and sell your own hamburgers. I don't know if you're gonna make as much money as you're gonna make at McDonald's, but you're gonna make some money and you're gonna I don't know what you do for the company you work for. B is a coordinator for Dallas Public Schools. I don't know how that translates over to the private sector, but if somebody is willing to pay you for your knowledge, your talents, whatever, you can pay yourself for that. And that's what I wouldn't do. Chicken Joe.
Do a business or something like that. Yeah.
They talking, so that maybe they weren't talking to me, so I was like, make sure they weren't talking about me. So
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good one, and the passion I think was great.
So
I have to say.
Now, I just think we had a failure in communication. I don't think I understood everything you guys were saying, and I agree with that. I understand you have to do what you have to do to get where you need to go.
To get back.
My only comment is that why did you have to do that at the expense of almost ruining another brother's career?
Because
you didn't have to do that. You could have just remained silent. And your opinion could have been he was wrong. Kyrie was wrong for that. Well, first of all, he wasn't wrong for nothing. So why we didn't argue that? I don't understand what. So you're asking for a man to get suspended. You're calling him an idiot when all he did was post a link to a video and he said, "This is what I'm watching." That's all he.
We with you, B. I'm with you. I just said it many times.
We should have never said anything about it. That's my point.
I'm with you, but these guys do this every day, day in, day night. They get on TV and they talk about athletes. That's what they do. That's their job. That's what they get paid.
You know, when the original.
You guys know Chris Bouchard?
Yeah.
Notice Chris Bouchard didn't go. He didn't hit Kyrie under the belt. He didn't do that stuff. He even said, "Well, there's some just calling for him to get suspended." I don't know about all that. He didn't go. He didn't get him below the belt.
So if you ever watch TNT, because two of the guys on there, so when they first started, it was a novelty because it wasn't supposed to be what it is. Right, and because how they carried themselves with the step and fetch it.
Highly rated now.
Right.
#1 show.
You know, how they were back and forth because at one time they was putting Charles Barkley against Shaquille O'Neal like they were enemies.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how it started off. Like they had something against each other personally.
It was smart too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they played that role to get to where they are now. Now, I don't know why. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why people said what they said. I don't know. But they came back. It's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I know people that does the housewife shows. Nothing like that. That's not how their lives are. I was in Miami. I met the housewives people. Sit there and chopped it up with them at the. We was at some restaurant on the corner. Whatever restaurant that is on the corner in Miami, brunch spot. That's where we were. Anyway, so people from Miami know what I'm talking about. So they just happened to be in there. We sat there and chopped it up and this, that, and other, and I was with a female, so they were chopping it up. I was just sitting back like this bitch got a fat ass. But anyway, they were chopping up. And they were saying, girl, that's not us. We just that nothing, da da da. We don't even hang out with each other or, like that. And so a lot of that stuff just be for show.
Entertainment purpose.
Period. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the opinions that they put out there, it's not their opinion. Mm-hmm. That's what somebody said to say that part. Like, okay, you're gonna be the bad person. You're gonna be the good person. You're gonna break it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the viewers are liking.
That's what they like.
So I think Shaquille, that's probably because he didn't say it on his podcast. Mm-hmm. I think that's what Stephen A, because he didn't say it on his podcast. Because his people, and so B said, well, which one was authentic? I'm gonna say
the second.
Right.
The y'all doing too much, y'all doing too far.
What I got to say on my podcast is authentic. This is me.
Right.
Because I'm paying me.
Right. But again, okay, guys, we've been going in circles.
But hey, God bless. Good night.
Y'all want to do a good ending though?
Yeah, that be good ending.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks again. A lot of topics covered, guys. I know we've been gone for about 2 weeks. So we had a lot to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, as always, you can follow us on all social media platforms. I'm Bilal.